All right, guys, this is one of those videos where everything connects, but only if you stick with me all the way through. In this video, we're going to talk about three things. First, the latest update on the Tremec 6-speed manual that's already been installed into a C8 Corvette. Secondly, a leadership change inside Corvette engineering that most people are completely overlooking. And third, a comparison that hit me out of nowhere that involved Coke. It completely reframed how I look at the C8 manual situation. And by the end of this video, I think you'll see why this might not be a mistake by GM after all, but something much bigger. Also, real quick, before we dive in, I do want to point something out. Only 25 to about 27% of you watching these videos are actually subscribed to my channel, which means most of you are regular viewers, but haven't hit that button yet. Just so you know, subscribing is completely free. It takes about a second to do and genuinely helps me grow my channel, so I can bring you deep dive Corvette content like this. Not just headlines, but stories that actually make sense. And if you appreciate this kind of breakdown, I really appreciate the support. All right, now let's rewind a few months because this entire story really starts with Tremec. A few months ago, I made a video that honestly surprised me. It was about something most people had already written off as dead forever, a manual transmission C8 Corvette. And at that time, it felt like a hopeful engineering story. Interesting, exciting, but still a long shot. But since then, two things have happened. Number one, new information has come out that makes this manual C8 more real than ever before. And second, a comparison hit me out of nowhere that completely reframed the entire story. And once I made that connection, I couldn't unsee it. Because this might not just be an engineering story anymore. It might be a marketing story, a timing story, and possibly a genius long game move by GM. Corvette owners, imagine your wheels spinning at full speed, but your Corvette emblem never moves. It's always upright and always perfect. That's the magic of dynamic caps, the world's first premium floating center caps for a Corvette C7 and C8. Choose the Show Edition, flawless up to 20 miles per hour, or Performance Edition is engineered to hold steady even at highway speeds. It installs in minutes. No mods, no hassle. Use your OEM inserts or go custom and make your Corvette truly one of a kind. Dynamic caps isn't just an accessory, it's a statement. So stand out and turn heads. Make sure to use my link below in the description and pin comment and get 10% off your order with code BOS10. So again, let's rewind. In my earlier video, I talked about Tremec, the same company that builds the dual clutch transmission already in the C8, developing a brand new 6-speed manual transaxle. What made it special wasn't just that it was a manual, it was that it uses the same packaging envelope, the same mounting points, and fits where the C8 DCT already lives. At first, Tremec positioned this as an aftermarket focused transmission. Almost like, hey builders, here's a tool if you want to do something crazy. Interesting, but still distant from factory reality. Now, here's where everything changes. According to GM Authority, Tremec has now physically installed this manual transmission into a C8 Corvette. Not digitally, not theoretically, not on paper, but installed, bolted in, and verified for fitment. I'll put the link in the description below on all the articles about this video. This is a huge milestone, but once something is physically installed, packaging excuses disappear, it can't fit is no longer valid, and the conversation shifts from if to when. Even more interesting, this manual includes shift position sensors, meaning features like active rev match are already part of the design. This isn't a 1995 stick shift. This is a modern manual designed to coexist with modern electronics. So now the manual C8 isn't a fantasy, it's technically real. And this is where the light bulb went off for me. because this entire situation reminded me of something outside the car world: New Coke. In the 1980s, Coca-Cola replaced its classic formula with a new one. From a data standpoint, it made sense. From an emotional standpoint, it was a disaster. People didn't just dislike it, they felt like something was taken from them. And in less than 3 months, when Coke brought back the original as Coca-Cola Classic, sales exploded, loyalty skyrocketed, and the brand came back stronger than ever. Now ask yourself this: what if GM did something very similar with the C8? When GM launched the C8 in 2020, they didn't just change the engine location, they removed the manual transmission entirely. That was big. And yes, they had logical reasons for doing so: performance, packaging, global competitiveness, cost, and emissions. But emotionally, for many Corvette purists, that manual wasn't just a gearbox, it was identity. So what happened? Some buyers moved on. Some embraced the DCT, and some said, I won't buy a C8 unless it has a manual. And guess what? They're still saying that today. But those people didn't disappear. They've been waiting in the shadows. And every year without a manual, that desire grows stronger and stronger. That's manufacturing scarcity, whether intentional or not. Now, if GM had offered a manual in 2020, I feel like it would have been a small take rate, because as you remember, the C7 manual was selling at a very small percentage, and by the time they got to C8, they felt like it was not worth continuing on with it. But that's because everyone took it for granted. So again, it would have been a small take rate. It would have been quietly faded with no drama and no mythology. But remove it out for 7 years, now it matters. Tony Roma is now the chief engineer of Corvette, and he didn't come up through Corvette, he came from Cadillac, specifically on the team behind CT4V and CT5V Blackwing, 2 cars that still offer 6-speed manuals and were praised for driver engagement, but also built in defiance of industry trends. Cadillac proved something important here. Manuals don't need to be mainstream to be meaningful, and when new leadership arrives, new ideas follow, especially ideas that bring die-hard, pure customers back. So let me connect the dots for you. Tremec has a manual that fits the C8. It's already been installed in a real car. The tech supports modern features. Corvette now has leadership that understands manual culture, and there's a built-up audience that's been waiting for years. If GM brings the manual back in 2027 or later, it won't be an option, it will be an event, just like Coke Classic. So was deleting the manual a mistake? Maybe. Or maybe it was the move that made its return inevitable and more powerful. Because sometimes you don't realize how much something matters until it's gone. And when it comes back, that's when legends are made. So, as usual, ladies and gentlemen, I'm not saying all of this as factual information, but I do believe this could actually happen, and it wouldn't take me by surprise if GM was doing this exact scenario. But what do you think? Is this similar to what Coke did in the 80s with New Coke, the accidental genius marketing ploy? Or was GM completely surprised when Tremec built this new manual transmission? Either way, as you can see, they now have zero excuses to not build this into their lineup. But I say start off slow with Grand Sport and Stingray offerings only, just to see how sales go for a year. If they boom like I think they will, carry it over to E-Ray and Z06. But again, let me know all your thoughts in the comments. Make sure to smash that thumbs up button and the subscribe button. I hope you guys enjoyed this, and I'll see you guys out on the road.